We are weeks away from one of the most anticipated shows of the year, the long-awaited Halo TV series for Paramount Plus. The $200 million series will hopefully spawn a series of successful TV endeavors, and what better way to start that than with the man himself, Master Chief.
I need a weapon.
The series has a lot riding on it, both for the network and the future of gaming TV shows. For that reason, I thought I would pitch a few important aspects the show must do in order for it to be the hit Paramount Plus and us gamers really need it to be. Screenwriting 101 always says show, don't tell. Going through scenes to feel emotions or the weight of a situation is greatly important. Glossing over it in a throwaway line rarely allows us to connect and oftentimes causes gaps in logic or emotional connection. That being said, it's just as easy to get lost in the past than to connect in the present. Shows as recent as The Book of Boba Fett prove this with its constant need to retell the past and disconnect from what is going on now. It can add to the layers of filler that aren't enjoyable and doesn't do enough to justify the show currently running. Halo has a wide, sweeping story, and I can almost guarantee it will have flashbacks. It's key the show doesn't focus too heavy on those and does its best to detail the Covenant War as best as it can. Throughout the Halo series, as well as the famed books, we learn a lot about the Covenant. The Alliance is formed of a multitude of alien races, all united under their religious worship of the Forerunners. The Covenant are more than a conventional alien villain we have seen in previous sci-fi action media, and their exploration of their own faith, their hierarchy, and various characters will add much needed depth to the show. While I am quite okay with some bad guys or villains being the simple, mustache-twirling kind, the Covenant aren't that, as they are an advanced race seeking to wipe out the inferior technological race, humanity. Exploring their religious ideology could be extremely fascinating, especially with so much of it relying on falsehoods. Of course, seeing characters like the Arbiter would be awesome, but there's no need to rush him. Developing the war as best as possible will lead to interesting real-world parallels, and could lead for some excellent science fiction storytelling. The Flood are the big bads of Halo. The parasitic alien species is out to infect any life form, any size or shape, making them incredibly deadly. The Halo games often relied far too much on the Flood, and my fear is the Halo series could result in something similar. The zombie genre has been done to death, and if Halo resorts to using the Flood too soon, it could be something as goofy and as ridiculous as the Doom video game movie.
It was his first mission!
But it's not going to be my last. I need soldiers!
Save the Flood and address the Covenant War. Having a stoic action figure of a hero is difficult, and I have no doubt there's a bit of a wall that the writers of the series had to go through. If Chief talks too much, or delves too far into who he is as a person, you risk that character not being the character we all know and love. If you make him too stoic, quiet, and removed, you have him simply be too boring. To counter this, I'm sure tons of characters will be infused around Chief and create a persona similar to that of John Wick. The revered status will help John or Master Chief, but my fear is the show pulling too far away from John and focusing on characters we care little about. Make no mistake, Master Chief is the main character throughout the series, and the times when the video games tried to make it about someone else, it failed. Focus on Chief and drive that home most importantly. This one is goofy but can't be stated enough. This is Halo, a game about a 7-foot super soldier who fights aliens to save humanity. It is action-packed, it is over the top, the story has hundreds of years of mythology and can easily be just too much for some audiences. You can easily find hours of explained videos delving into that mythology. The show isn't tied down to the universe, as the creators have stated that this is an adaptation of the video game. So remember that at the end of the day, the game is a first-person shooter about a bald, pale as ghost super soldier who beats the living shit out of aliens. Make it fun, make it entertaining, and deliver on solid action. So, what do you guys expect from this series? I'm personally extremely nervous, as I do feel the show has a lot riding on its success going forward. Not to mention, Paramount Plus has stated they've spent at least $200 million on 9 episodes set to be released at the end of March. That's a shit ton of money, leaving it little to no room for failure. What do you look forward in the series? Let me know in the comments, and I'll see you on the next video.